Hello, all my little light beams. How's everybody doing? Good, I hope? Good. So this energy wave has been extremely intense for a lot of people, so I hope you're really hanging in there. And I hope you're taking care of yourself. We have a lot of tools that we can use to bring ourselves back in when we need to. But I really wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of things. First, if you can't hold your balance, it's okay. Cut yourself some slack. You're doing, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years worth of energy release right now. And I know a lot of times as light workers, we can really hold ourselves to this standard of always having to have our stuff together. But that's just not true. We're people and we're releasing. So do your best to stay in your great vibration. But if you're sinking and, the processes or the vibrational work is just kind of making it worse, then decide that for today you're just going to take a break, that you're just going to take a break and you're just going to be and try to relax as much as you can. Okay? So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. The next thing I want to talk about is when somebody comes to you and they are in the muck. I mean, that's the best way I can say it. They're just having a hard time and they know you're a great advice giver and you see things from all kinds of different perspectives, and maybe they know that you're into woo-woo and spiritual stuff. Whatever the case may be, they come to you and they want your guidance. I really want to express, and this was something that took me a little bit to learn too, but now that I've got it, I do practice it. But I want to express that if you're not feeling your best, take a time out, take a break. You don't have to save everybody. You don't have to help everybody either. Sometimes it's best just to shut everything down and just be within the energy that you're in. As light workers, we can get really focused on helping other people. I mean, after all, that's what we're here for, right? That's what we're doing. And I do understand that and I do get that. But if you are not in a place where you can connect to that good high frequency, you're not going to give anybody sound advice anyway. And they can feel you. They can feel that you're feeling off. So instead of going against the grain of your vibration and maybe pushing something and not honoring yourself in that moment, you're not really going to help anybody. So just know that it's okay to take a break. It's okay to take a break from all of it and just be in the now, be in the moment, feel what's going on, feel what you're feeling, and just know that it's going to pass. Now, with that being said, when we're talking about feeling your feelings, going through this processing or going through this energy release, by no means does that mean to kind of wade in it and focus on it heavily, or continue thinking about it and drudging up more momentum. These emotions that are coming up, these sensations that are coming up, they're all for you to release and let go. That's all this is. Acknowledge it. Your awareness is your power. Once you're aware of what's going on, you can release it. So just keep letting yourself go with the flow and release what needs to be released. We're really cleaning house. We're on the doorsteps of this huge shift, and whatever's happening right now is meant to be happening for you. But what I'm getting at here is make sure you're honoring yourself. Sometimes we try too hard to get out of these vibrations and then we end up making things worse for ourselves. Sometimes it's just a-okay to surrender to the energy and just let it be for that day. Start over the next day. The next thing I want to talk about is Compassion versus sympathy. A lot of people are starting to come to. A lot of people are starting to wake up. This is a mass awakening. This is a mass awakening. It's not just us and they're asleep. Everybody's starting to wake up, and it is so glorious to see and wonderful to watch. But when these people come knocking on your door and they're processing some big stuff or being asked to make some really big moves in their life, sometimes because they're not fully awake, that can entail a little bit of drama or a lot of bit of drama, right? So I really want to talk about the difference between being sympathetic to somebody that you care about and want to feel good and to feel better, and to be compassionate towards somebody that you love and care about and want to feel better, because they're very, very different. So when you're sympathetic with somebody, you actually go into their vibration with them. You just kind of let yourself go in there, and you're agreeing or saying, yeah, that's really bad. That's horrible that they did that to you. I know that feels bad. I've been there before. This is my story. There's all kinds of different ways we can be sympathetic. And sometimes sympathy doesn't even look negative. Sometimes sympathy looks like you're really being a good friend. In this vibrational world that we live in, though, sympathy does not help anybody. I know sometimes, and for some people, that might sound harsh, and that might sound, oh, well, that's not very nice, Crystal. But we know about energy. We know about frequency. And if you are in the same level that they're in, how are you going to assist them into a higher frequency so that they can attract differently, right? And first, it's good to mention, you can't shift somebody else's frequency. We all know that, right? We're in charge of us. But when you're friends with somebody or when you're family with somebody and they look up to you, you can say things to them that may make them shift their perspective or not, but it's all up to them. So when in that situation, and we're talking about being sympathetic versus compassionate, we want to let people be exactly where they are. You can be understanding without going into that vibration. You can give them advice and broader perspective without going into that frequency. And by doing so, by not going into that frequency, by keeping the vibration in these heightened levels, you're living by example. And that's how people shift. People don't shift because of your words, and people don't shift because you're dropping yourself into their frequency so that you can maybe, from your perspective, allow them to feel loved and comforted, because that's not really what happens. When you hold a place of compassion for somebody, you're loving them exactly where they are. You're giving them advice that is energetically sound and that will direct them in the ways of letting whatever happens unfold and moving forward with hope in their heart. There's a huge difference between sympathy and compassionate. So when people are coming forth and they are looking for people who have answers, it's just the times that we're in. Make sure, that your cup is full, that you've done what you need to do to hold yourself stable regardless of the energy that's around you. The more you can practice your own frequency, the more it becomes dominant for you. When you have a dominating frequency, you can help everybody, right? Because you're in control of you. And instead of going to somebody else's level to give them comfort or some sound advice, you can invite them to come meet you where you are in a very heart-centered space. And then the rest is up to them. But they know you care. right? Because we are all in this together. There's just different ways of expressing it. And it's really, really good that in these energies that we're coming into this summer and the ones that we're even in right now with this energy wave that's coming in, it's really good to know that, it's okay to hold your space. It's okay to hold your own space. It's okay to have healthy boundaries and go fill your cup up when you need to. And it is okay and really important that we are there for other people, but you want to be there for somebody else in your own vibration. You want to show up with compassion and understanding that they are where they are, and you're going to stay where you are. And here you can come join me and I'm going to show you the way. So there's just a really big difference in that. And, I was on the phone with a friend. I was not on the friend with the phone. I was on the phone with a friend this morning, and we were really talking about that, about, being compassionate and being there for others. When somebody in your family is really going through something and that they need to have their own space, and really take the time to get into some things and figure some things out, it's probably not the best idea for you to go over to their house and show up, because then they're, going to lean on you and put this on you. And in a way, I shouldn't say put it on you, but you're going to accept their frequency and really dive into things in ways that aren't going to be beneficial for anybody. So we really got into that conversation this morning, and I was like, perfect topic to talk about, because I know all of us light workers go through this. We're getting blasted with these really large energy waves right now. That's not even going to let up until the full moon. And then on top of that, there's people around us that are going through all of this stuff too, that are really looking to us for guidance. And, I'm all about us guiding each other. I'm all about showing up for other people, but show up in your vibration and invite them to come join you, because we don't do anything for anybody when we dip, right? Yeah. So I hope everybody's doing good. If you're on the struggle bus today, go ahead and check out my 5-minute check-in that you can just kind of go in and scan the energy in your body and bring yourself up into your higher chakras. I'll put that link in the description box so everybody can kind of revisit that if you need to. Another really important thing is to keep grounding yourself into this higher energy. There's tons of guided meditations out there that talk about guiding meditation into the new earth and into these new frequencies. I also have one that I had created, bringing us into the 5th dimension and what it looks like and feels like. So I'll put that link in the description box also. And thank you to all the newcomers that are here joining us on this ascension path. This is so magical and it has been so much fun. So for all of you newbies that are kind of showing up, not necessarily newbie to the woo-woo world, but maybe just to me, thank you for being here. I love you all, and I love sharing all of my experiences with you all. And just know that we're all in this together, and I'm here for you, and I know y'all are here for me. So have a beautiful rest of your day. Tomorrow's the summer solstice. So tomorrow the energy is going to get crazy. So if you can, tonight, do some meditations. Make sure you're doing some positive aspects so you go to bed in a really good space. I think I talked about it in another video. One of my favorite things to do at night before going to sleep is to lay there and recount my favorite parts of my day and really think about them and really think about, why it felt so good, and the surroundings, the smells, the sights, whatever it was, the people. That really helps me go to bed and wake up in a really good space. So just know that the energy is going to be intense tomorrow, and it can be intense good or it can be intense clearing. We don't know, and we just kind of take it as it is, and we move along with it as we can. This wave is going to end for those of you who are feeling overwhelmed. These ascension energies are getting closer and closer together though. So it is in your best interest to begin to set yourself up on kind of, some sort of schedule of how you're going to handle these ascension waves going in, figuring out what works for you. If meditation's something that works for you, if affirmations are something that works for you, if hiking out in nature is something that works for you, these are the things that you really want to do on the days leading up to these high energy days, because they're going to keep you in your heart and connected to source and out of your head, right? That's what we need. We need to be out of our head and into our heart. So lots of things going on, and I'll make another video soon. Hang on if you're hanging on, and spread the love if you're spreading the love, y'all. I love you all so much. Bye. We don't know where that button is.